Hey guys, welcome back to the CALLOUS channel. Today we have another CALLOUS Invitational 4 replay. This is going to be Altina versus Fear. Altina obviously new to the CALLOUS Invitational main event. This is going to be his debut, and yeah, that's very cool. Altina's definitely been putting a lot of work into the ADV tournament scene lately, definitely. So that's really cool. And Fear, obviously a veteran, played in all three CALLOUS Invitationals so far, and I believe he's done a 6-6 record across all of them. So that's very respectable considering the level of players who get invited to these events. So yeah, that's really good. Altina's very creative in the builder. So even though Fear is a proper veteran, we'll see if he can square up here. This will be quite an exciting game. We'll get straight into it. We're going to see a Zapdos lead for Altina and a Zapdos lead for Fear. Might trade T-Waves. We might see something else here. We actually see a switch out to Celebi. So since Altina has a natural cure mon, doesn't bother making the trade. Makes a lot of sense. Fear's going to sub and he's going to get sub pass off there, which is really beneficial. If the Celebi doesn't have Psychic, then it wouldn't be able to break it versus the Zapdos. He's actually going to pass the Tar, which would work out. If the Celebi had Psychic there, it would have worked out nicely. It's actually a CM from the Celebi, and it's going to be a CM pass to Swampert. That's a nice play here because even if it's a Tar with special moves, that Swampert is going to be able to take those. It's actually a Crunch, and that's going to split F drop. HP Grass could do a lot here if it has it. It does actually have HP Grass, and we're going to see Swampert break that sub with Earthquake. We also see that the Tar's quicker, so either that means that this is potentially a very defensive pert, or maybe that's just maybe it's a defensive pert and a pursuit Tar, or it could be a mixed Tar with Crunch and a offensive pert. We don't really know yet. There's another Crunch. Crunch generally suggests pursuit Tar. That Earthquake damage, I think, tells us that it's probably a pursuit Tar. Earthquake would have done quite a lot to a mixed Tar. And also it's got lefties. Often pursuit Tars like to run Lumberry. Aggressive focus punch here from Altina, looking for the rock resist in the back, knowing that Fear's T-Tar can't punish his T-Tar very much when it didn't show Brick Break, and he's actually able to hit the Breloom there. I believe that might be a roll. As to whether it kills Breloom or not, Breloom's going to barely eat that, so it's going to be able to get off the Spore here, and Altina's actually very skillfully able to sleep sack the 17% Swampert, which is going to be actually hugely beneficial to his game, because that Swampert wasn't going to do a whole lot at this amount of HP. So that's really, really good. And Celebi's going to come on in here. That's able to take focus punches pretty well. Altina's in a pretty good spot, having 2 fighting resists and also having the put to sleep, which is the only mon that Fear has made major progress versus. Actually, Fear's able to crunch the Celebi here for quite a lot of damage, so that's going to work out well for him. We're going to see if the Zapdos is definitely in a good spot now with that Celebi having taken so much damage. So yeah, that's definitely could be a very favorable trade for Fear, depending on what Altina has in the back. Both of them look like they have some kind of mixed offenses. Maybe Altina's could be some kind of special offense. We'll see. We see Tyranitar coming for Altina here. It's going to be able to abuse this Zapdos pretty well. Yeah, we'll see what Fear decides to do here. I believe the Zapdos might be quite useful to him at this point in time because the Celebi's practically gone, so he might choose to save that. There's a Rock Slide into a Metagross here, and yep, that's just going to recover some leftovers there. We know it's not Choice Band or Lumberry Agility. We haven't seen there's nothing really to bait out a Magneton at this point in the game, so we don't really know. We see a Psychic there, so I guess that confirms that Fear's team is some kind of mixed offense. I'm just going to see a T-Bolt here onto the Metagross as they're going to trade some damage, Zapdos and Metagross there. T-Bolt power is pretty relevant because that Metagross, even though it's quite slow, might have been able to get off a boom on something. Although generally, mixed Metagross tends to be slower than T-Tar, I believe, because it has minus speed nature. Maybe Fear was running some speed benchmarks on it. Altina might be running some speed on his Tar as well, though, so we don't really know. Could have been relevant, might not have been. But Zapdos going to switch out here, fearing a Mach Punch presumably, as Gengar's going to come on in. That's really nice, and that's really, really great for Altina because the potentially what we assume is a Pursuit Tar here is actually gone, and so the Pursuit support that the Brillium had is it doesn't exist anymore, so that's great. And this Gengar seems to be quite offensive as well by that damage on Metagross. That's a pretty hefty T-Bolt, so Altina's in a really great position here. Also, that Zapdos has been chipped as well, so it's looking pretty good for Altina, to be fair. If he has Ice Punch, he might be able to Zapdos is going to probably live an Ice Punch from this range and be able to T-Wave it back, so we'll see what decision Altina decides to make here. It's actually a T-Bolt. Yeah, that's a fine play, considering that he's able to trade with the T-Bolt there. If he has Ice Punch, he'll be able to clean up this Zapdos here. And we'll see what Altina decides to do here. Fear's in a pretty tough spot versus that Gengar with both the Metagross and the Pursuitar gone. That's probably I would doubt he has many other great switch-ins to Gengar in the back. It doesn't look like the Gengar has Ice Punch though, which very lucky for Fear, I guess. Otherwise, he might have got cleaned up there. Tyranitar's going to be able to click something here, and it's going to go for a Rock Slide into a Dugtrio. So definitely not an ideal turn for Altina. We're going to see what Fear decides to do here. That's an Earthquake, and if for some reason isn't going to kill the T-Tar, that was, I mean, we saw the damage onto Breloom earlier was pretty much near max attack, pretty sure. So it's not like a counter tar or anything like that. It's not got some wacky Fizz Def on it. So I guess that's just non-banded Dugtrio, which is very strange. But yeah, T-Bolt here onto the tar is going to knock it out. Jirachi is the last for Altina. That might be able to clean up Fear here now the Dugtrio is gone. Not that the weak ass Dugtrio would have been able to do much about that anyway, but it looks like bar any hacks here. Fear's best thing that he can do to it is just T-Bolt it, which isn't doing a whole lot, especially now it's got CM boost. Fear's going to save the Zapdos, which I think is a wise move, considering that it walls the Gengar in the back there, finishes it off with T-Bolt, and also beats the Swampert. We're going to see if he has something in the last slot that can really beat this Jirachi. Maybe he can go for a crit here and then clean up with Zapdos. We will see. That's going to be a Thunder Miss for the Jirachi. That's pretty big. As the Coon CMs, we could see some hacks here. If the Jirachi misses a bunch of Thunders, he could just get hacked by the Suicune. This might, I mean, if the Suicune manages to get enough boosts, it could just come down to crit. That's the first hit from Altina there, and Fear's going to go for the Surf. He just needs that Jirachi probably to miss one more Thunder, and I think Zapdos might be able to clean him up. So we'll see. The Jirachi's actually going to hit the next Thunder, which is great. So it's looking like that might be it. Yeah, the Rachi's quite bulky. Must be maybe a sub-Rachi or something. Because it's got max HP there. Or I'm pretty sure it didn't take a huge amount from that T-Bolt or the +1 Surf. Must have been an Astacoon or something, because it was comparable to the T-Bolt damage there. But Ice Punch is going to finish off the Zapdos there, and that's going to be the game. Fear unable to get the hacks there at the end. So that's going to be game one. Altina's going to win that relatively convincingly, to be fair. I think quite pivotal turns. Definitely when Altina sleep sacks the Pert, that was pretty big. That was a really nice turn for Altina. Yeah, I think this was a really great showing from Altina, who's potentially maybe not the favorite to win this series as well. I think that Fear is definitely the veteran in this matchup. So yeah, very excited to see game two, and I'll see you guys in the next one.